would be Leo Kurkoski online.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, and I want to particularly address to Brody for his great things that he did in his speech. One of which he dressed with his team. He came out saying, "I want you to listen to me." That was very catching because I didn't know exactly what the speech was going to be about, but the way he was dressed said, "I should listen." Strong voice, easy to listen to voice, well pointed out sections in the speech. I'm going to get into that just a little bit later, but some of the important parts about the speech was the way that he told the stories, way that we had an opportunity to find out how to become a little bit better. He mentioned at the beginning of the speech, in his opening, which was good. Good morning. What a better way to start. Well, we think about that a lot. We like to start out with something positive and say, good morning. Not a bad morning, not a so-so morning. Good morning. So that says, hey, it's going to be a positive speech. Great job on that. So that brought my attention to what you were going to talk about. Now, you did mention a couple of things that you were going to talk about, and I'm going to get into a little bit, maybe where you can improve on that. But you read a book. That was good. You had something which was your speech was based on something that was important. You read a book, and you told us about that book a little bit. And then later, you didn't tell us what the name of the book was right away. It was later, he said, How to Win Friends. Well, I know of that book. And I have to say, that's a book I haven't read myself, but I hold the contents of it in esteem because that was the focus of your speech. Now, you went through your speech mentioning I counted anyway, 7 different points that you were going to talk about, and you did talk about them. At the end of your speech, you didn't really wrap up what you had said, and that's kind of what I want to point to in how to improve your speech a bit. Having all the good points, that's good. How to build yourself up, how to have self-esteem, how to make friends, how to deal with people. I would suggest that at the beginning of your speech, you tell us you're going to talk 7 points. You don't have to tell us what those 7 points are, just that you're going to talk 7 points. And I would think that would be a great way to then get into your points and talk about them as you did, because that was a great tool in letting us know that you were changing points. This was important. At the end, I think we need a little stronger closing because you just kind of dropped off and said, basically, this is the end. That isn't what you said, but that was kind of the impression I got. Rather, you should go back and say, if you follow these 7 points, or whatever number of points you had, that would make you a better person. And go back to your opening about that book that I read was so good. I want you to read it yourself, How to Win Friends, because it is so important. Good speech. Your dressing was just dressed very well. I'm not speaking well myself. So thank you for that speech. Making friends, that's what we want to do. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, Madam General Evaluator.
All right.